For our project, we are going to translate Easter 1916 by William Butler Yeats into a dialogue. The Easter Rising of 1916 in Ireland aimed to establish the independence of the Irish Republic and end British rule. It began on Easter Monday and extended over a span of 6 days. The rebellion was ultimately suppressed by British forces, but left a lasting impact in the fight for Irish independence. Following the events of the Easter Rising, poet William Butler Yeats wrote Easter 1916. This poem aimed to convey Yeats' conflicting internal dialogue, serving as a continuous discourse between right and wrong. Using the format of a back-and-forth conversation, our project demonstrates Yeats' torn emotion regarding the Easter Rising. This conversation, a debate taking place within Yeats' thought, can further illustrate his struggle with sacrifice, freedom, and national identity. For our project, we have two main goals. By changing the poem into a dialogue, we want to show the sentiments and important historical events of 1916 from the perspective of the individual. Compared to traditional retelling of these events, this modernized method allows the readers to feel the personal struggles and emotion of the period through a more intimate lens. The conversational nature of our project both humanizes Yeats and also allows us to relate to him. As for the second goal, our hope is that the conversation can serve as a reflection of contemporary society. Although his poetry is indeed motivated by the Easter Rising of 1916, there are several universal themes outlined by Yeats that are indisputably echoed by our society today. Ideas such as sacrifice, the pursuit of freedom, and consequences of rebellion are not only exemplified as being significant politically, but also in the broad streams of humankind. Through the dialogue of two vastly different personalities, our project seeks to spark reflection on the nature of change, the cost of progress, and the complexity of national identity in our era. As you listen to our performance, think about the theme and consider questions such as, what is the true cost of freedom? What is the conflict between individuals' belief and the country's beliefs and goals? How does society move forward after a great change? Joining us on this journey to Ireland's past, reflect on its echoes in the present and enjoy the show. You can't deny the passion of those who rose in 1916. They were willing to sacrifice everything for the dream of a free Ireland.
Passion? But at what cost? Too long to sacrifice can make heart in the storm. Violence begets violence, and I'm afraid the rebellion will bring only more bloodshed.
A terrible beauty born from that sacrifice. The rebels may have been flawed, but their action ignited a spark of national pride and paved the way for independence.
Terrible beauty born, indeed. Yet, was this sacrifice worth it? Was it for these wild geese spread the grey wind upon every tide? Our ancestors fought for the freedom, not for divided nation torn by conflict.
I understand that these rebels became change utterly. There is a recognition that the rising transformed individuals and the course of Irish history.
Changed, yes, but not necessary for the better. All change utterly. A terrible beauty is born. The beauty may be terrible, but the aftermath is equally so. The scars of violence linger far beyond the rebellion.
The struggle for independence is never easy. A waste of breath the years behind. And balanced with this life, this death. Change is inevitable, and sometimes it requires a sacrifice.
Sacrifice, yes, but at what point do we question the means to an end? To alone sacrifice can make a stone of the heart. If we foresaw the hardening of our hearts through the prolonged conflict, losing sight of what we initially fought for,
we can't dismiss the passionate desire for freedom. I have met them at close of the day, coming with vivid faces from counter or desk among grey 18th century houses. These were ordinary people driven to extraordinary measures for the sake of liberty.
Ordinary people turns rebels, yes. But I have doubts, related to many factors. That woman's days were spent in ignoring goodwill, her nights in argument until her voice grew shrill. Blind dedication without understanding the consequences. Does this not concern you?
I understand the doubt, but consider the bigger picture. Too long a sacrifice can make a stone of the heart. But perhaps it's a necessary stone, a foundation for a free Ireland, a terrible beauty born. The struggle may be painful, but it births something new and transformative.
Transformative, but not without the scars. All the delirium of the brave led to a fractured nation. We sought unity, but instead we have wounds that may never be healed.
Wounds may heal in time, but freedom is timeless. This other man I had drank a drunken, vain, glorious loud. That the rebels were not what he had initially perceived. Sometimes we must challenge our own biases.
I might change my perspective, but the consequences endure. The innocent and the beautiful have no enemy but time. Innocence lost, beauty marred. Can we truly say that the cost was worth it?
Worth it or not, the rebels act with conviction, and made the dawn of Ireland brought upon a major law. They fought against oppression, and their sacrifice initiated a discourse for a free and just society. All is changed utterly. Change may be uncomfortable, but it is a catalyst for progress.
Progress or regression? But lift where a motley is worn. The motley of conflicting ideologies, the division among our own people. Is that the Ireland we envisioned?
It's a step towards a vision. Sacrifice, pain, and change. These are the prices we pay for progress.